So, good morning. I want to do a quick little beat and a quick little get ready with me. My children have a award ceremony for school and a lot has been going on, and I've just been chilling, not saying too much. I'm just watching everything play out. But I feel like I've gathered enough information where I can speak on the things that I want to speak about. So as a Jamaican, I'm gonna keep it very simple, straight to the point. I am not somebody that's going to be donating my money to any big corporations, any .govs, anything like that. And the reason why is I live in Jamaica. I was actually in high school in 2004 while Hurricane Ivan was going on. I went to Romeich High School at the time in Hanover. And this doesn't have anything to do with political affiliation, but PNP was the ruling party, and I saw how the resources and the funds and the aid was given out, and the people that actually needed the aid and the fund did not receive it. And as a high school student, it left a very bad taste in my mouth personally, especially going to school in Hanover, because I feel like Westmoreland and Hanover are some of the most forgotten places, because they feel like Westmoreland have tourism and they don't really need to check for us like that. Seeing kids at the time, and when Hurricane Ivan came, it was a category 3 or 4 hurricane. It wasn't a 5 like Melissa, and I was out of school for 2 to 3 weeks. And when I went back to school, there were kids that came back to school with dirty clothes, dirty uniform, one uniform, crush up uniform, because they didn't have access to clean running water, they didn't have access to electricity, they didn't have access to so many things. And I was fortunate enough to have my mom in Jamaica at the time. I don't even know if my mom remembers this, because I remember it to this day. My mom was actually in Jamaica from overseas visiting us when Hurricane Ivan took place, and quite honestly, it was one of the best hurricane experiences I've ever had, because my mom was there to like facilitate us being prepared and everything. So, and a lot of people didn't have that, and I was blessed enough to have my mom there, who made sure that we had electricity, we had access to iron, clothes, water. Even if she had to buy the water and iron with clothes pan stove out a door. We went to school looking just like how we looked before the hurricane, and there was a lot of kids that didn't have that. So it has left a very bad taste in my mouth as far as hurricane relief and hurricane relief allocation of funds and stuff like that. And that's why I'm not donating to any government or big corporation. I am donating to grassroots foundations where I can actually see my money help Jamaican people who got needed. One thing people need to realize is that Westmoreland is way more than Negril. You have Darliston, you have Petersfield, you have White House, you have Betheltown. If you go up in the hills, you have so many places up there. Westmoreland is way more than Negril. You have Little London, you have Big Bridge, you have Beer Road. Like, Westmoreland is way more than friggin' 9 miles of sand and beaches and hotels. Growing up in Westmoreland, I love Westmoreland. There's no other place that I'd rather be. But when it comes on to support, especially where government officials are concerned, we're the last to get that support. I am gonna do grassroots people. So like Andre, Romeich, I see Quite Perry doing donation drives, and as somebody personally that has had family members' houses broken up, I have a death in my family also, so this hits very close to home, which is why I haven't said anything. And I don't feel like they're doing enough, and they're doing it quickly enough for me. My family members have informed me that there are about 10 to 12 bodies in and around the Little London to Sheffield area that needs to be picked up, that have not been picked up. So their death toll that they are giving out is severely inaccurate, because there are people still stuck in their homes, stuck underneath debris that are supposed to be picked up that have not been picked up yet. And this was the case in Hurricane Ivan. I can't say anything was different. And coming to these places with your long hand and no help does nothing for anyone. So yeah, and then the Prime Minister actually telling people that if you're not a government contractor, if you are not hired by the government, you cannot move the debris, you cannot move anything, or else you're not going to get paid. Especially in this time is really diabolical to me, because there's people stuck that don't have access to water, don't have access to food, that don't have access to light, basic necessities. And when you put people in a position where they don't have basic necessities, bad things happen. When you're back against the wall and you're starving and you're hungry, you're gonna do things that you never thought you would do before, and that's just that. I feel like it's Jamaicans that are going to have to take care of Jamaicans, because the government officials are not going to do it. And I'm seeing some MPs coming out and saying that they have to be breaking rules, laws, and regulations to get to the people in their constituency. And I can't say I blame them, because the Jamaican government is very much dragging their feet. They have always dragged their feet when it comes on to stuff like this. So I'm not shocked or surprised. I am just sorry for the people that have to be going through everything they're going through, and the kids that have to live through times like this. And maybe because I went through Ivan and seen a lot of stuff, maybe I am traumatized. I will definitely leave links and leave who I'm supporting and where I'm supporting in the description box, because it's not going to be any government officials. And then everybody is talking about the big insurance policy that Andrew Holness got. That's great. It's very much amazing. But if the people that need it are not going to have access to it, then I'm not giving anybody no big up. I'm not give up anybody any shout out, especially ones that they don't deserve, because the people have not have access to any of that insurance money yet, or any aid. The people actually need places to live. They need tarpaulin, they need tent, they need zinc, they need actual places to sleep that's dry. So no government official now get no big up for me about no insurance policy that the people have not been able to reap the benefits of. Also, there needs to be some form and some level of transparency where aid and fund is concerned. And Jamaican government officials have never been the most transparent, especially where money and funds is concerned. We saw that in the COVID relief funds that they were given from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So as far as that is concerned, I'm definitely not holding my breath. I know they said recently that all the funds have to be accounted for, but I'm not holding my breath on that. They have a way of thieving money and doing what they want to do with it, regardless if the money needs to be accounted for or not. Them give the contracts them to them cronies and them split up the money, and that's how it goes. And from a medical standpoint now, it's going to be very interesting because people don't have clean water. Disease is going to be a problem. Sanitation is going to be a problem, and food shortage is going to be a problem. Westmoreland is very much a farming parish, so is St. Elizabeth, so is Hanover. That's going to stop. Westmoreland plays a big part in tourism. That's also going to stop. And just the overall health, having people in situations like this where they're constantly in fight or flight mode, and they are just in survival mode trying to get their next meal, is not good. Stuff like that breeds diseases, and I feel like there is going to be an uptick of diseases like malaria, Zika, C. diff, MRSA, because of everything that's going on. As far as getting access to clean, sterilized stuff and access to proper health care. Solutions is concerned, because I don't like talking about these things and don't give you guys solutions. As far as solutions, there's a lot of people that are displaced, especially in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, that are without homes, and the hotels are closed. So I feel like these hotels should provide a living space for these people that are displaced at a prorated rate, and the government use all the funds or a lot of the funds to place them in those hotels until they can build structures, whether board structures or tent structures, to place them in. I also feel like, as far as food is concerned, there is a small little kind of city in every community. So for Westmoreland, it would be Sag or Negril, where they have a central monitoring point, and from there they use that monitoring point with police and medical personnel, and that's where they distribute resources as far as food and water and tarpaulin and everything that people need. That monitoring point, or that central monitoring point, would be accessed to everyone, and they don't have to be going to different places all over the parish to get access to food and water and stuff like that. That's one. Packing barrels is also a viable option, because they have removed the taxes for Jamaican people to pick up those barrels. We're gonna still have to pay to ship them, but that's fine. I do feel like the timing is way too short, especially for people that live in the UK. To send a barrel at the end of November is way too short. People then, where they are off, that are stealing out these people's things out of them barrel, God don't like ugly. I don't know, get yours for sure. I promise you that, because you're not in more need than anybody else. So why are you stealing out people's stuff out the barrels? And all of us can take a flight, and all of us are going to be suffering over in the US and Canada, because we can't get to support our people the way we want to. We have to show up to work, we have to show up to school, we have to keep doing all the things that we were doing before in order to help our people and help our family and friends, and that is fine. All of we can pack up go Jamaica at once. We have to do what we can from the places we are. I will say that we need to stay in community with each other. If a family member them used to call you and you never used to answer, now is the time that you have to answer. If you know a Jamaican person, check on their mental health, talk to them. encourage them, because there's a lot of Jamaicans that are mentally in these places, but they are completely tapped out because they haven't heard from their family members. They see everything that's going on, and it's affecting them and affecting their daily lives. So please remember that. Oh, and if you're packing a barrel, please remember that there's a lot of things in these places that regular Jamaican people do not eat. So don't pack up no foolishness in a barrel them send to Jamaica. Want to know the people they not eat. Oil, water, salt, mackerels, not salt mackerel, mackerel, sardine, sausages, sugar, rice, condensed milk, bully beef, medication like Tylenol, kids Tylenol and stuff like that, pads, because women need access to sanitary napkins and tampons and stuff like that. Don't pack up the barrel of no foolishness either. You can get your little chips and stuff, mac and cheese, stuff like that. But yeah, that's just my little 2 cents on everything that's going on and how I'm planning to help. I am going to be packing 2 barrels, and one is going to be for my immediate family for sure, and then the next one is going to be to donate and help people that I know in Westmoreland that actually needs the help, because I want to be able to see where the desire is at, and I fulfill those desires and access to help my people. And that's it. I'm definitely starting with my family first, because my family has definitely been affected and I have a death in my family, so that's what we are going to be prioritizing. My family and everybody that has lost a loved one in this time. I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're going through. It's hard, but we will survive. We always do. We are strong people, and we got this. I don't know why my thing is barely getting hot. I was gonna change my clothes, but I don't think I am now. I'm just gonna spruce up the outfit that I have on with some jewelry and a purse and call it a day. I don't know why my damn curling iron is not working. This curling iron is super hot, so I don't know what's going on. These artists, I see where they are politically aligned now these days, and they can't get me to support them anymore. And I'm talking about Massacre. I am a very big fan of Massacre. If you go on my YouTube music, you will see that I listen to a lot of Massacre. I'm probably one of the #1 listeners of Massacre on YouTube music. Seeing where a lot of these Jamaican entertainers are politically aligned definitely sets the tone for how I support and who I support as far as streaming and buying music is concerned. Now you can't play politics with people's life, especially someone that has mismanaged funds that were given to help poor people, and that's who you align yourself with. Yeah, no, I can't support you, and I can't support that. So that's another thing. Big up to all the entertainers that are trying to do their part though. Shaggy, Sean Paul, not only entertainers, also like sports official like Asafa Powell, Janelle Brownfieldman, Noah Lyles, Usain Bolt, big up to all the people that are doing their part. I am just making my observation and moving how I see fit after, because I was one of the YouTubers that ran the story about how Floyd Green, like I was saying, I was one of the first YouTubers that actually, one of many actually, that actually talked about Floyd Green using funds that was allocated to his constituency to keep big birthday party for himself. And yeah, I just can't support that. I'm sorry. And a lot of these artists that are politically aligned a certain way, I can no longer support. And that's that. We're in 2025. You need to take into consideration everything and everyone that you have around you, especially if you're an entertainer, because we are going to judge you by that. And that's that. Y'all bitches lied about this whole behind the hairline. This whole behind the hairline closure shit. This shit is for the birds. I'm sorry. You can literally, it looks good for about 2 weeks. It literally looks good for about 2 weeks. Y'all really need to stop lying to people. And I'm so glad that I did it myself and I didn't actually went and go spend my money to have somebody done. I actually slowed my closure down. That bitch still slipped back all the way to Africa. No matter what I did, I sewed it down, I tacked it down, it still slipped. So y'all bitches need to stop lying. Y'all bitches need to stop lying about these hairstyles, because if I had spent my money, honey, at an actual hairstylist and this was the result, I would be pissed. I am a sew-in girly. I like to make sure that my money, I'm getting my cost per wear out of every and anything at all. I don't care if it's a sew-in, a silk press. If I'm not getting at least 4 weeks out of it, it's a no. It's a no for me. And I know these are going to fall, so I'm not even worried about it. Alright. I'm gonna put on my accessories and I'll be right back. So I have on some cute little earrings. I think these are, from Pandora or JCPenney. Ring, bag. I've had these bag forever. I think these are from Brandon Blackwood. My dress is from Shein. My slippers are also from Shein. This is the fit. I'll go out there and show you guys a better picture. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.